Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Specialist Edwards, and today we'll be going over identifying topographic symbols on a military map. The overall risk assessment is pretty low. We're in an indoor environment. It's raining outside, but it shouldn't affect us inside. We have a roof over our head. If you start getting sleepy, stand up. Don't disrupt the class. If you have to use the restroom, just stand up and leave. Don't disrupt the class for that either. If you have any questions, just stop me, and we'll proceed on after your questions answered. Watch out for tripping hazards. I've removed all furniture from the area here so that there's no risk of tripping over anything, and furniture's pushed back. Other than that, the overall risk assessment's still low. I mean, we're good to go. Anyways, let's begin. So just so you know, I drew a random map of where I live, which is Leesburg, Georgia. My house is here. Then we got a creeks running around us, a few swamps, and then we got a few different things around us. I'll go over that in a little bit. Just want to let y'all know what I had behind me. It's got a bunch of key points on this and everything. I got a few key point notes that I'm going to go over, but other than that, that's what's on this right here. So, this is a 1 in 50,000 scale map that I did. So, pretty much it's zoomed in decently amount so you can kind of see the big picture of everything. We're going to be identifying symbols, colors, and marginal info on the map. So make sure you're paying attention. We're going to have a little throw together test at the end of this, and other than that, I mean, we should be good. It's an easy class, no worries. So on this map, it being the 50,000th of a scale, 1 in 50,000, excuse me, it's kind of like a zoomed out, but it's not quite zoomed in. If you were to zoom in on just say like a 1 in 250,000th scale, the details wouldn't quite be there. So other than that, we're going to go over a few different colors. So it's hard to see. I'm going to just stay in the picture. But, we've got the key colors on the map for a military map is going to be black, blue, brown, green, red, and red-brown. Those are the main 6 colors that we go off of so that we can, succeed in our job and our mission. So basically the black is man-made features other than roads. So that means like a building or anything like that. We're not going to count the roads. So blue is water, which can consist of like lakes, ponds, streams, anything that is blue and squiggly. You'll see on the map. That's what I got here. Blue. Creeks, 2 different creeks I got running through, and I got a river, I got 1 creek and 1 river close by. So I got the Kitchafuni Creek that runs up to the river and they connect. Flint River runs north and south. So pretty much I'm here. We got a few swamps in between us. You can identify swamps because they got like green lines on them also, and blue, of course, because it's water. Brown is like cultivated land or reliefs or anything like that. So I don't really have much. I got farmland north of me, like around the creek and all that kind of stuff. It's farmland. So I put a few brown lines there. It's real faint. You can't hardly see it. But then there's more of it here too. Then green is like your trees. I got trees all around my house. Trees across the creek. There's trees running up around. I mean, there's trees everywhere where I'm at on this map. So I didn't have a military map to actually do it, so I made my own. Hopefully it works. But green is vegetation. Remember that, green is vegetation. Red, so like we got a few main roads that run through my town. It's not a real big town. But I got a few main roads, so they're going to be red as your main roads or main approaches or whatever. Then we're going to go and you'll see train tracks. They'll be in black because that's a man-made feature on the map. So the train tracks pretty much cross over the river, cross over the creek. So that's why it's identified black on the map. So when you see red brown, you'll be looking, that'll be under like a red light sensitive or a dim light. That's when you can identify on the map. So a bunch of different like examples for like the colors on the map that you might run into. You can take note of this, write it down in your notebook, which everybody should have. Pen, paper to take notes, because there will be a test at the end of this. So make sure you're paying attention. So like there could be a drainage. You'll see like a small blue line. That could be, that could be just something small, but it's a runoff for like somebody's house or part of the creek. You'll see a bunch of blue lines. That's what you see a lot of. You see a bunch of brown on the maps, like a bunch of lines and hash mark looking things. That's more like reliefs or like cultivated land, like I've already been over. Trees and brush just scattered all over the map. You'll see a bunch of red lines for roads. Railroads are black. Buildings can vary from black, yellow, red, or pink, depending on light sensitive or how you're looking at the map. I gathered all this information from FM 3-25.26. That's where I got all my information. It's an Army study guide, and it goes over and goes into detail if you want to look after this class to get more information and take notes yourself. So when you come down to the moment of having to use it, you actually have it on hand and you know what you're looking for. This class right here is an overall brief. I mean, it's easy. We're just going over the basics so that everybody gets a refresher if they already know, or it helps the new people get a better understanding. Okay, so the shape shape of an object on a map kind of tells what it is. A solid square is more likely a building or a house or some kind of like big infrastructure looking building. It just depends. A round, irregular blue item is normally ponds or lakes. You'll see a bunch of squiggly lines that trace each other. That's more likely to be a river or a creek. Just the circles or some little smaller objects, that's going to be your pond or lakes. Most items are enlarged 6 to 10 times so you can see them under dim light. So in all reality is we're not really seeing it's zoomed in. So if I was having to use light sensitive or be light sensitive or use red light at nighttime, I'm still able to kind of get a gist of exactly how I need to navigate across this land or push troops or soldiers, push them across the land. I know what to look for. Using down here at the bottom is a legend. It'll kind of give you a brief overview of what items are on the map, exactly what they look like. So there's descriptions out beside them, and down here it shows you like every little block is 10 meters or 2 miles or 1 nautical mile. It just depends on how you're looking at the map or what you're using it for. So let's go over a few things on the map, what to look for. So on the top left corner is the geographic location of the map and the scale of a map. So this is Leesburg, Georgia, like I've already been over. It is a 1/50,000th scale map. The top center is the name of the map. So mine was just random map because I don't have like general location of what I'm looking for. But if you're looking at a military map, you'll see one it'll say Fort Stewart, Fort Benning, Fort Drum. It just depends on what you're looking at or where you're at. It'll tell you in the dead center what it is. So the top right is the map edition, map series, or the map sheet number. That's what I got going on here. It's the map series and the map sheet number. It's just a random number that I made up, but it's in the same format as any other map that you look at. So that's what these two items are up here in the right corner. Okay, let's move on. The bottom left corner or lower left is the agency name that prepared the map. So it would be me because I prepared the map. It's just a random map of my area where I'm at. So that an agency's name, or it would be like the Department of Defense, yada yada yada, they would be down here. Okay, so the lower center right here is going to be where the bar scales in meters, yards, or miles is going to be, meters, yards, miles, and nautical miles will be down here. It'll show you what each block is to correlate. So each block's 10 meters, 2 miles, 1 nautical mile. Okay, so we got that. And also over here, it'll show brief descriptions of what's on the map. So buildings, lakes, ponds, rivers, trees, vegetation, any of that is wrote out right here, and it's got a brief description beside it. And the lower right is the elevation guide and boundary box. So this shows basically what elevation we're at, where this map was. I just put a random number down as elevation. I didn't pull the exacts because it's just a random map. So that's that. All right. If you see an object like this on a map, don't let it confuse you. Like I said, it's a swamp or a lowland, marsh, however you want to look at it. Let's see. And most of the time, you'll be using a map protractor to navigate, so you know where to, look at stuff on a map and stuff like that. At this time, I kind of gave a brief overview of this class, and hopefully, you've gained enough knowledge to answer the questions that I have prepared for you here. And if you don't mind, getting out your pen and paper and sit down and let's take this test real quick, see where we're at. I'll read the questions off, and you just write the answers. Make sure you don't share with your buddy. Cheating ain't right. So just get the information right. If you got any questions before we go, or before we begin this test, let's do it now. If you don't, let's begin the test. So, right here, we're going to begin the test. I have it wrote out on the board here, or on this fancy little thing here. So, on the test, we're about to begin. I'm about to give you question number 1. So, question number 1 is, find the sheet name. What is the sheet name? Number 2, find sheet number. Write down the answer, and we'll go over it and pass it up when you're done. So, all right, number 3, what color is vegetation? Number 4, what color is water identified as on a map? Number 5, what does a road look like on a map? Or excuse me, what color is a road on a map? Number 6, find the name of 2 water sources. So there's 2 different lakes or ponds or rivers, whatever I said earlier there was. So just to make sure you're listening, this is on the test. So what were the 2 rivers or lakes or ponds that I identified earlier? Number 7, you find the name of 1 main road on this. And there's only one, so you can't get it wrong. It's right up here on the board. Number 8, you find 1 man-made object. And it's up here on the board. There's only one, so you can't really get it wrong. What color is used when we're using dim light or being light sensitive? Just write down the color. What is the scale of this map? When you're done, pass it forward. Yada yada yada. Okay, so 8 out of the 10 of the soldiers passed. So we're going to go over a little bit more brief overview of this map so that people have a better understanding. Remember, the colors are black, blue, brown, green, red, red, brown. And it's all right here on the board of what we have. So nobody should have got those wrong. The scale is on the map. It's right up here on the board. So keep in mind that the black is man-made features other than roads. Blue, water, lakes, ponds, streams, what have you. Brown is relief features or cultivated land. Green is vegetation. Red is major roads, built up areas, features on an old map. Red-brown, relief features and main roads on red light map. At this time, everybody has passed the test. Everybody got to go on this identifying topographic symbols on a military map. Everybody passed it, so we are good. At this time, if there's any questions about this, we will go over them. But other than that, I think we have met the commander's intent to get out the main information of identifying topographic features on a military map. Excuse me, the computer went down. But anyways, we identified features on the topographic map, or identifying symbols on a military map. We identified, everybody passed, everybody did good. Risk assessment is still low, but as you get up, make sure you push your chairs under the table so there's no trip hazards out there. Just ensure everything is picked up, cleaned up, sure you have all your personal items. And other than that, that conducts my brief of identifying symbols on a military map. Thank you.